Hello garden lovers! Welcome to our garden. Things are pretty wild right now due to the limited time to maintain everything, but things are looking beautiful. We've got lots of delicious food growing on our half-acre edible landscape. Drop us a comment below. We would love to hear what you are growing in your garden. We grow inland, east of Orange County, in Southern California. We are in a desert type of climate, but we have worked very hard to transform our barren desert landscape into a beautiful garden oasis. It is difficult to grow food in our area, but we have figured it out and we will share our secrets to success with you. Last year's garden tour was a two-part video. Hey, Betty. You getting some worm scent on you? I love you, you're adorable. Distracted by my beautiful little guy. As I was saying, last year's garden tour was a two-part video. It was way too long. This year we're going to change things up, go through our growing locations much quicker, and then we'll do some separate videos on all the tomato varieties that we're growing. We are growing over 20 pepper and chili varieties. So if you are a pepper and chili lover, make sure to hit the subscribe button, because we will be sharing all of those varieties with you. We are always experimenting on better ways to grow food on our half-acre space. Some things are working out and some things are not. So we'll go through the garden and we'll share it all with you. But first, I'm going to have to capture this little white butterfly because he is about to lay a bunch of eggs on my beautiful black magic kale. Well, that didn't go so well. Those guys are so fast. There was two of them and they both got away. All right, so I'm just going to do a quick 360 of our main growing area, and I will hit up all of the beds and then head over to some of our other growing locations, because as I mentioned, we are growing food all over our property. We get very, very creative, so we have lots to share with you. All right, in this growing area we have 6 raised beds and 2 in-ground beds. These 2 raised beds here on the left, we grow tomato plants down the center, trellis them up these poles. And this is new. This year we started growing pole beans in between the tomato plants. Let's see if I could get a shot of this beautiful purple blossom. They are purple pole beans, extremely beautiful, highly productive. But this is one of the things that we're definitely going to change next year. Although it's so beautiful growing the pole beans in between the tomato plants, the pole beans are just kind of crowding out the tomato plants. They're still doing really well. See here, here's a Cosmic Eclipse tomato variety, highly productive as well. Beautiful tomatoes. But I want some more air circulation in between the tomato plants. So next year, we'll still do the same thing as far as growing pole beans in between tomato plants, but we're going to space them out. Probably just put a couple of pole bean varieties growing in between the tomato plants. Here we have a Kellogg's Breakfast trellising up this beautiful iron arch. And down here, lots going on. Lots of bunching onions. I think this is the, I got 2 varieties here. We've got the Purple Apache and we have Ramrod, which is a green bunching onion. Here is one of the beautiful chili varieties that we're growing. And again, we'll have a pepper chili tour in a few weeks where we'll go over all the varieties, how they're doing, and how they taste. All right, over on this side of this raised bed, look at these beautiful dahlias. We are growing more onions. Got some marigolds in here. There's another white butterfly, darn it. We've got some dinosaur kale, got some mustards, cilantro, and some bok choy. It's a purple lady bok choy. We also have some kale, and I'll just go through here to the next raised bed back here. Got some basil, this beautiful, beautiful, this is one of my favorite dahlias, Red Babylon. It's gorgeous. This one's just opening. This one was at its peak blossom a few days ago. See here, it's starting to fade, but we've got lots of beautiful dahlia blossoms, so lots more to come from this beautiful variety. Again, same thing, we have tomato plants down the center. We're trellising them up the pole. On this side we have lots of kale. We grow a ton of kale and we don't eat it all. We eat quite a bit, but most of it actually goes to our girls. Salt and Pepper, our beautiful hens, love kale, and we'll stop by there in a little bit. Down here we have some radishes growing, experimenting, growing in this location. We're already at the mid-90s, but this spot is under the shade cloth, so we'll see how they do. I think they're going to do really well. You can see all these beautiful, beautiful purple Italian pole beans. They are so gorgeous. They are overgrown, so I'm gonna have to get these guys seeded. And I've been looking up great recipes for overgrown beans. I'm gonna try a refried bean with these guys and see how it goes. Another favorite tomato variety, this is the Black Beauty. So delicious. And you can see here, this eggplant is a disaster. This is due to spider mites. Wrapping up a video on how we are addressing all of the different spider mite issues around the garden. Got some more bunching onions that we seeded. This is the Apache. We're going to get these guys planted out in our various areas. And another fun pepper variety. This is the Dragon Tongue. See here, we got some leaf miner action. This bed back here is basically a mirror of that first bed that we went through. Lots of kale going on, tomato plants, pole beans, peppers. This is a fun new variety that we're growing for the first time this year. It's called Gin Fizz. Excited to try that one out. And before I go to that side of the garden, we'll head over here because there is a beautiful, beautiful blessing hiding in our weeping plum tree. Had some very, very stressful work days the last few months, and it has been so amazing to come out and to witness the beauty of these baby hummingbirds. This mama hummingbird made a nest, laid eggs, got to see the eggs, and have got to watch these little babies grow. Here we have potatoes. We're growing the containers in ground. If you saw our last garden tour, there is a UK gardener that is superb at growing potatoes in containers. He's done many experiments. He gets higher yields of potatoes by growing in containers than he does in the ground. In this whiskey barrel we have another tomato plant. All along here are lots of potatoes, and here we have some more pole beans. Kind of went crazy with the pole beans this year, but we are going to make sure they don't go to waste. Here's another one of those beautiful blossoms. Here is our weeping Santa Rosa plum tree and our apple tree. And now let's head in there and check out the little babies. Been talking to them. I hope they're going to get used to my voice and want to live here forever. Hi, little babies. Oh man, you guys are so beautiful. The most precious things I've seen in a long time. Okay, you guys stay safe. Come say hi later. All right, got basil growing under there. Some more flowers that we'll be planting. And now we will head back over to the raised beds. It's my butterfly net. Try to catch all of those white butterflies. Hey, the little dude is staying cool under the shade cloth. Smart move. Oh yeah, I wanted to share this onion. This is the expression onion. It's a large yellow onion with long storage capabilities. And I think this is the largest onion that we've grown. We grow them from seed. Great, my shadow's in the video. But man, look at this thing. Absolutely gorgeous, ready to harvest. I'm just gonna harvest it right now. Let's see here. You can see here the tops have folded over. So it's definitely ready to harvest. Wow. Look at this. What a beautiful, huge onion. They are so delicious. Gonna get this guy over on our drying rack. I think this guy's future is gonna be in some spicy breakfast potatoes with some jalapeno and serrano peppers. Look at how long the roots are. Beautiful. All right, in this raised bed we have lots of bells growing, mostly purple bells. This is called the Purple Beauty. We have some green bells. Excuse me, Betty. Getting pretty close to harvest. We got a serrano back there. And more onions, of course. Got onions all over the place. We've been harvesting this purple broccoli and it's seeding again, so love the purple broccoli. Gonna get as many seeds from this guy as possible. This is my new favorite Cosmo. I think it's called Fizzy. Got it from Baker Creek. Super beautiful. All right, got some wildflowers that we planted in this flat. I'm gonna get those guys out all over the place. And here is one of my favorite beds. This is our green chili bed. So we grow hundreds of Anaheim green chilies in this bed. If you follow our channel, you know that we are huge green chili lovers. We grow them every season to make sure that we have plenty in the freezer. We get them roasted, peeled, and frozen for future green chili dishes like green chili chicken Alfredo, green chili burgers, green chili chicken enchiladas. But we have lost quite a few this year. This is due to grubs. Got a video all about these guys and how they take out our green chili plants. One of the ways that we're successful in growing such healthy food is because we are doing the no-dig method. I highly recommend checking out Charles Dowding's no-dig method, his videos and books. It's all about keeping the soil intact. So we harvest at the soil level, leaving the root system in the beds, and it works really well for grubs. The grubs continue to munch on the more mature root growth, but it's not 100%. But I'll tell you, if we weren't doing this no-dig method and just pulling up all the plants, there'd be no roots in the soil for the grubs to eat, and they would be going after all of our newly planted plants. So this no-dig method works really well, but unfortunately, We still lose some chili plants. Next year we have a plan to grow lots of extra chili plants. In case this happens again, we could just pop a new chili plant in. If you've seen our video on how we're battling grubs, we had bought some new starts because these two were taken out by grubs. We got the plants pulled, popped in these new ones. These were transplants that we bought from a local nursery, and you could see they're well behind these bigger chili plants, but at least we're still going to get lots of green chilies. So again, next year we will grow extra just in case the grubs take out some of our chili plants again. We'll be able to get those pulled up, remove the grubs because they'll be right underneath chewing on the roots, and then pop in a transplant. Here we have some more potatoes growing in the ground, and this bed just has a couple leftover purple cabbages. They're a little too tough now, but the girls can eat them. We got some peppers growing in there. This large jalapeno plant was growing in our greenhouse. It got too tall, decided to move it out here in this raised bed, and it took. It's doing excellent. Got some new blossoms. So, lots more jalapenos to be had off of this plant. Over here is our in-ground beds where we are growing lots of cucumbers, lots of chili plants. Down there are the chili de arbol. We use those in our salsa. We've got beans behind the cucumbers. Here are some tomatillos. We've got a group of 4. Always grow tomatillos together for largest harvests. You get way more tomatillos growing together than you do a single. Down there is some peanut plants. First time growing peanuts, so we'll see how that goes. We got some strawberries up in the window box. More tomato plants back there. This beautiful, beautiful grapevine. So many grapes growing off of this plant that I think the sun is taking away from all of the beauty growing. It's hard to see. And back there we have some turmeric growing. And now we're headed over to another growing location. We are succession planting our corn. Growing corn this way, they have to be hand pollinated. So I'm going to get out a little paper tray, shake all the pollen off onto the plate, and get them placed on all these little tassels. You can see here though, there's a little piece of pollen, so it's probably already doing it itself. We get a lot of wind here, so. But I will hand pollinate just to make sure that our ears of corn are filled out with all the kernels. Got some lettuce growing up in this vertical gardening wall. It's a Black Simpson, Merlot, Red Cross, more tomatoes in containers. Back there, some basil, more dahlias, and we succession planted our watermelons this year, watermelons and cantaloupes. This is the newest one. This is called Orange Glow, but we have a whole watermelon patch and cantaloupe patch that we'll head over to very shortly. Here we have some more tomatoes, strawberries, and a beautiful monarch butterfly flying around. Let's see if we can catch where she lands. We have some milkweed that's being stripped by a monarch caterpillar. She went too far. All right, so earlier I was talking about sharing some of our secrets to success in growing in our hot desert climate. And you can see down there, that is one secret. Shade cloths. Under that shade cloth is growing some red Malabar spinach, waiting for the plane to go by, and some Chinese string eggplant. Super beautiful variety. Here we are growing some cucumbers, trellising up this cattle panel design. We succession plant our cucumbers. All along this row is asparagus and some berries. Here in this sitting area, we have lots of asparagus growing as well. This asparagus is 2 years old. We have a bed where it's 3 years old, where we could probably start harvesting. We're gonna wait one more season because, as I'm sure you know, if you leave your asparagus to grow for about 2 to 3 seasons, the root system gets nice and strong. And then once you start harvesting, you're gonna have asparagus for decades, 20 to 30 years. Last year we grew red Malabar spinach in this bed. This year we're growing cucumbers. And I see back here we have an overgrown cucumber, but that won't go to waste either. We're gonna get that pickled. We slice it up, and my husband makes this amazing spicy cucumber pickle concoction that keeps for up to 30 days in the fridge. This huge kale plant is the 1,000-head kale. I love this variety. It gets so huge, but unlike tree collards that get really big and they kind of get tough, the leaves are still pretty tender. So this is a keeper. We will grow 1,000-head kale in our garden every year. In this bed we have lots of leek growing down the center. Ooh, there's a hummingbird. I wonder if that's the mama. Let's see if I could zoom in. There she goes. She's so fast. We got some Swiss chard. Lots of onions growing in there. Got some broccoli and radishes and peppers. And some beautiful sunflowers. Oh, wow. So we got a little pollinator in there. And behind me is our cattle panel raised bed. Growing in the desert with the extremely high temperatures, shade cloths are just about a must to protect the food that we're growing. In these containers we have mint. I have a couple of tomato plant varieties grown in here. And this is one of my favorites, the blue Scotch kale. Delicious. I'm pretty sure I know how they get the baby leaf kale now too, because I have already harvested this kale down to the soil level like we do all over our raised beds, and it just kept growing back. But it grew back with little baby kale leaves. So I believe that's how they started marketing the baby kale leaves. They probably cut back a kale plant, little baby kale leaves started growing out. What a great way to get the little baby tender kale leaves. All right, so in our cattle panel raised bed, we have our cucumbers that have been succession planted. We've got peppers. We've got heads of lettuce growing. This is the flashy butter variety. Super beautiful. Looks like it's starting to bolt. Got to get that guy harvested. Our carrots are overgrown. Again, time constraints. And more cucumbers back here. Got some giant Swiss chard that I got to get planted. Nasturtium. This guy has to be harvested now. And the bugs are starting to attack the cucumber plants. Of course, so it's time to start treating all the food we're growing. We've already started on our grapevines and our eggplants, but we've got powdery mildew setting in. So once the sun starts going down, we'll mix up a batch of neem oil and soap, some organic Bronner soap, and start treating some of these pests. Here is a beautiful cayenne. Cayenne peppers everywhere. We make our own spices. And some overgrown Swiss chard. This is my favorite kale. It's the Black Magic kale. It's super delicious. It does excellent. This is also a staple that will be growing in the garden every year, and all year round actually. More cucumbers to harvest. And in here, some heads of lettuce. All right, so head over to another growing area. We try to utilize all the space that's available to grow food. And here is our garlic bed. Garlic is ready to harvest. Got to get this harvested this weekend. Once we get it harvested, we'll put a layer of compost on the soil. We'll let the bed set, soak up all the nutrients from the compost, and then probably plant either a round of onions or wait and plant another round of garlic here. This area is still being developed. We are growing some onions, peppers. These are red ember cayenne. They're absolutely huge. Beautiful cayenne. So really excited about this variety because, like I mentioned, we're making our own spices. So look at that plant. It's just bursting full of red ember cayenne. Here is a Thai chili. See all the Thai chilies, and another red ember cayenne. We love peppers and chilies. This is the back half of our property where we have a greenhouse and some raised beds, and this is how it looks most of the time because we are in mid to upper 90s probably for the rest of the season. Got some compost bins back there, grapevines, lots of berry plants, got a mango tree up there. We've got some avocado trees. So I'll get these guys uncovered and share the beauty. All right, shade cloth off. Let's head over to the tomato pepper bed first. This bed is doing amazing. We have my three favorites in there. We have the Kellogg's Breakfast, a large slicer. Get in there. This guy. Beautiful, beautiful, and delicious tomato variety. I love it on a bacon sandwich. In the middle, we have my other favorite, Black Beauty, and the ones that are ripening are more towards the back, so I'll pop up on the hill in a second because I want to share with you guys how we fasten the shade cloth to drape over the tomato plants to protect them from the harsh UV rays. And over there on the left is my other favorite, the big beef. We've got lots and lots of big beefs. They're everywhere. It's a nice one. And we also have, of course, some tomato hornworms attacking this bed. And you can see here, they started eating away at the tomato. I've seen tomato hornworms eat the tomatoes and also grasshoppers, so it could be either one. Tonight we're going to come out with our black light and hunt them down. And then put them in a jar until morning for the girls. They love those tomato hornworms. In the front here we have lots of bells. We've got, I think, the red knight here. It's not quite ready, it's starting to turn. we've got some, here we go. Almost ready. Big, beautiful bells. The red knight is a nice, big, blocky red bell pepper. Here's some more. This is another red knight. You can see here, it's kind of wedged in the plant. Big bell, red bell. There's the tag. And then right next to it is the red ninja. These guys aren't as big, but they're nice and blocky. Delicious bell peppers. We've got some gorgeous bachelor buttons here, growing on the sides of the bed. Beautiful. And I'll pop up this hill. Hopefully I don't slip. This is our little quartz rock mine. All the rocks that you see all over the property mostly come from that area. All right, here we go. So it's a bit of a disaster back here, but look at these beautiful guys. Beautiful black beauties turning. Ah, darn it. Definitely have to come out here tonight with a black light. These guys are getting chewed up. Here is a gorgeous one. If you haven't tried Black Beauty, gotta grow them. They're so delicious, and they're one of the most beautiful tomatoes I've seen. So while I'm up here, I'll share with you guys on how we secure our shade cloths. I shared this design in our cattle panel greenhouse video. Here is a better view of it. Here is the metal track. You lay the shade cloth over the track and then just feed the wire through. Super quick, very easy, works outstanding. We get high winds here, and these shade cloths are going nowhere. All right, head over to pepper bed. The pepper bed is where we're growing the majority of our hot peppers. We got some big jalapeno plants in here. Ooh, monarch butterfly stopping by again. Big jalapeno plants. This is a heavy, heavy producer. This is the early jalapeno. And look at these guys. They're huge. Huge and beautiful. Let me pick this one. Oh no. Just removed a whole branch. That sucks. Beautiful, beautiful large jalapeno. These small guys, I won't be growing again next season. These are called the Black Magic jalapeno, and we've grown about 4 plants in different locations, and they're just not doing as well as the early jalapeno or the mammoth jalapeno. So we'll probably cut those out next season. I may give them a try one more time, maybe plant 1 or 2 and see how they do next season. But if they don't make it after that, if they don't get nice and big like this guy, not going to grow that variety again. And we grabbed a couple of these guys at a local nursery. First time growing a Carolina Reaper. Really excited to try this guy. I know it's going to be way too hot for me, but I had to grow it because CB and Renee at CB's greenhouse are always talking about him. So I'm really, really excited to try it for the first time this year. You guys should check out their YouTube channel. They are master greenhouse growers. They grow hundreds of tomato plants and pepper plants every year. Man, just looking at these huge, beautiful jalapenos, it's making me hungry for some breakfast potatoes. So we've got lots of varieties growing in this raised bed. This is the raised bed that converts into a greenhouse in the winter months, and in the hot summer months, we just drape the shade cloth over it and they love it. Zoom in on this beautiful guy. This is a habanero. We'll share the seed packet information with you when we do our pepper chili tour. And over here, we've got another raised bed. This is all the chicks' food, except we did pop some onions in between all of their kale. And I'm really excited. We have added a moringa tree right next to our greenhouse. This is a perfect location for a moringa tree because we do get frost. Since it's growing up against this wall, it's protected. The one in our front yard, we have a moringa tree. It's about 2 years old. And every year it does pretty poor when it gets too cold. But this one is gonna do amazing. And just wanted to share all of the mangoes. We love our mango tree. It puts out the tastiest mangoes. Get all of these guys. It's the Valencia mango. These guys are going to get larger than the size of my hand. And a pineapple bush. We have a pineapple garden, pineapple popping up. We'll head over there in a minute. This one won't get a pineapple until next year. And there's a shadow again. Here we have some mint, strawberries. This is the girls' kale bed, but we did pop some onions like I mentioned, and some watermelons in here. We have succession planted our watermelons this year. See, all the kale plants are little babies. Because last year they were ripening all around the same time. Another watermelon. And we'll pop up into the greenhouse real quick because we do have some stuff going on in there. The greenhouse gets about 120 in the day, but it's ventilated really well. Got the windows open and a shade cloth over the top. Here we have some serranos. Got to get these guys harvested. Lots of serranos ripening. This is a new jalapeno. It's going to grow in here all winter long. So we're starting to get our winter peppers and tomatoes started in the greenhouse so that we can have peppers and tomatoes all winter. Here is a Thai chili. This will grow in here all winter. Got another artichoke started for my mom. This is a super fun variety. Pumpkin on a stick. We'll make sure to share a video in the near future about this super unique plant. And look at the spikes. There we go. It's full of little spikes on the leaves. Very interesting. And here are all our pumpkins. They will be going out very soon. Gonna get them fed with a fish fertilizer today. And our husky cherry tomato plant, my favorite cherry tomato variety. It will grow in here all winter long. All right, let's stop by and say hi to the chicks and then we'll wrap this garden tour up. This video is already starting to go on too long, but I forgot to share our watermelon patch. Got this beautiful grapevine growing up our patio cover. Lots of bunches of grapes. Beautiful. And over here under our fruit trees is our watermelon cantaloupe patch. This nectarine tree is full of fruit, full of nectarines. We've been thinning out the fruit. You can see here, lots on the ground. We come in and shake the tree, shake the branches, let them naturally fall off. But It's drooping pretty bad, so we're gonna have to remove more manually because we've already lost 2 branches. Don't want to lose any more this season. We lost the 2 branches last season. So here we are, blacktail watermelon plant. That one's just starting out. And back here, this one is, which one is this one? Let me see here. Oh, this is the large watermelons, homegrown. So just had some seeds. Loved the watermelon last year, saved it, decided to grow it this year. We've got the Saskatchewan, cream of Saskatchewan. That is a delicious white watermelon. So flavorful. Over here we have, these are the sugar babies. Lots of sugar babies growing everywhere. And in here are some cantaloupes. You can see that little mound right there. The gopher's making his way over to this watermelon cantaloupe patch. That sucks. He could smell the fruit ripening. He did it to our pumpkins, and as soon as they start ripening, he'll dig up right underneath the fruit and just eat them. So I don't know. He's been very difficult to catch. Once I retire, I'm going to make it my mission to trap him. This one is the Hearts of Gold. Another watermelon plant back there. And this is the Haley's Jumbo cantaloupes. Got a few on that vine so far. So cute. All right. All along this area, we've got more watermelon plants. Some small ones just starting out back here. Love this Cosmo. It is a Viking berry. Pumpkins are going to be growing all along this area on the outskirts of the grass. Got some more watermelon in there. Citrus trees. And my favorite for my smoothies, goji berries. Got 3 goji berry bushes here. Goji berries are just starting to come out. Got to do some weeding in here. All right, before we head over to our last spot in our tropical area, I want to get a shot of this beautiful sunflower. It's a rare day that our skies are this blue. Southern California is full of unhealthy air quality. Oh, look at, we got a visitor. Super cute. Here are my beautiful girls. Hey, beautiful girls. Wow. That looks so nice and cool. Hi, Salty. Man, that looks nice. So Salt and Pepper love to lay under the canopy of the kale tree. This is the 1,000-head kale. We were headed on a week-long trip, and my husband wanted them to have some greens while we were gone. They were getting visited by their grandma. Anyway, he planted it in their chick run. We figured it would stay good for a few days, maybe a week, but it actually started growing in there, and so we added another one. And they absolutely love it. They have a fresh snack of greens whenever they want it. Of course, they get spoiled by lots of other stuff. And they have this nice, cool spot in the middle of a 90-degree heat wave. We're mid-90s this week. We were triple digits last week. The triple digits are headed our way. It's just that time of year. All right, gonna finally wrap this video up. Here is our tropical area under construction. Due to our elevation, we have a difficult time growing tropical fruits and vegetables. Back there are some banana trees. We have basically given up on the fact that we will never get bananas, but they look beautiful. So don't mind, love the leaves. The leaves are edible. Banana trees, fruit in January, that's when we're experiencing about 28 degrees. So we will just enjoy the beauty of the banana trees. And back there, we have been struggling with kiwi vines. You can see on the fence, my husband installed this wire all along the fence so that the kiwi vines can climb along the fence line, add a bunch of beauty, edible beauty. But the temperatures get too hot over here. That's why the shade cloth's out. And what happens is the vines start drying. It's doing well now because it's been covered up. So they're starting to vine again. But this one over here has dried up. I don't think it's going to do anything more this season. But we utilize this area for growing food. We grew a bunch of beautiful potatoes. Gorgeous, gorgeous purple potato variety. First time growing these, haven't even cut them open. I bet they're extremely gorgeous on the inside as well. And, whoops, another shadow. We have a little pineapple garden back in this corner. We're finally getting our first pineapple. And let me get in there. Super cute. Oh, here's a spider web. I had a huge spider on me yesterday. Our first little pineapple. Adorable. Yeah, and we recently had a pineapple, cut the top off, got it planted. I'm not sure if it's making it. I haven't been able to maintain it very well, but there are some roots starting. So have to give this guy more attention and make sure that he makes it so that we could have a very large pineapple garden in the future. And hi, Betty. Lastly, this is the area where we grew all of the Malabar spinach. Last year, it was vining all along this fence line. We had green and red here. All of this red Malabar is from last year's vine. And you can see here a ton of berries. A ton of beautiful berries, which means a ton of seeds. So if you made it to the end of this video and you would like some red Malabar spinach seeds, then drop me a comment below and we will get some mailed out to you. Here is a beautiful eggplant variety that we're growing for the first time this year. It's doing so extremely well because it is covered by the shade cloth whenever we have extreme high temperature days. Beautiful eggplant variety. This guy. All right, that's it for now. We couldn't stop by all of our growing areas because this video went on way too long already. But in our front yard, we have an almond tree, plums, moringa, and even though us gardeners love to watch garden tours, over an hour is just too long. I'm pretty sure that this has exceeded an hour's time. All right, so thanks for watching. Remember, something doesn't come from nothing. Hope you guys enjoy your week, and enjoy your garden.